Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Juwai IQI Canada Evening Talk. My name is Yousaf Iqbal. I'm the country head of Juwai IQI Canada. When we talk about Juwai IQI, and I always, say that the beauty of Juwai IQI is that, we are one big global family. 18 countries, 19,000 agents. Whether it is 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, just a click away, a call away. Whenever I call any of my country heads, they are there and talking to us. So, I'd like to invite none other than Lily, who is our country head of Juwai IQI Western Australia. Lily, how are you doing? Welcome to Juwai IQI Canada Evening Talks.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. It's good morning here, and I think good evening over your side. So
So,
it's my like such a pleasure to have the opportunity again.
so you know what we say? We say that at Juwai IQ, the sun is always shining from Australia to Canada. So one day and one day in the evening, so sun is always shining on us on that. So that's the beauty of July IQI, right? I mean, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and as soon as we have, said Lily, what, let's talk about the Australian market, about a project. She goes, yeah, sure, why not, Yusuf? Let's do it. So, hey, see, we have people already joining us. Hey, Kashif, hope you're doing
Kashif.
well.
Good morning, Kashif.
Good morning to Kashif, and of course we have Sam as well. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Sam. Yeah.
So I know that there's a lot of incentives which you and I were talking about, which is being offered by right now for the property investments in Australia.
Mm.
So Lily, you know what? Let's share the project you're talking about, the Eclat today, and also for our viewers, give us some background about the Australian market and what incentives are there for our viewers. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. Okay, let's start. Let me get my screen ready. Okay. Good evening to Canada teams once again, and of course, good mornings to the rest of the world. I mean, UI IQI global teams. If you tuning in this not quite sure afternoon or evening your end. So of course, thank you so much for the audience who joining us this evening or this morning. So my name is Lily, as Yusuf has introduced me. So I'm the director and country head for UI IQI Australia. It's my great honor always to be here and having this opportunity to share with you one of our exclusive project in Western Australia. Let us start. So here's a quick disclaimer before we start. My sharing is only intended to share general information and for reference, as everyone's situation is different and financial objections also different for most of the time. Therefore, before you make any investment decisions, right, please always seek for independent professionals' advice. So before we start to talk about the properties, right, please allow me to just briefly go through some of the summary of the COVID situation in Australia. Since last year until the 6th of May, we had around 29,000 cases in the whole Australia. As you can see from the summary on the right-hand side, most of the cases was actually happen in Melbourne and Sydney. And in Western Australia, we had around 1,000 cases so far. So, which is mainly due to the number of the returning residents we have. WA government actually takes this pandemic very, very serious, and they do manage it very well as well. As months ago, we actually the government actually locked down the whole state just because of one cases. So how this COVID impact to our property? So before the COVID hit, our market, which I'm referring to Western Australia, was quite weak, and we have been stagnant for nearly 5 years. So I hope this table and chart can give you an easy view. What was happening in WA? WA stands for Western Australia, by the way, since the November of 2019, that right before the pandemic. As you can see from the table, our property market has actually started to pick up, but the recovery happened at a very unfortunate time. As you can see from the tables, right, we have five consecutive months of house growth, and then the pandemic hit, and our unfortunately the house price dropped again for 3 months, and we start to see the market start to pick up again since the September of last year. And of course, it continually non-stop grow until today. So in Australia, interest rate and bank policy have actually, I mean, they have bigger impact to the property market instead of the COVID. From the diagram you can see, right, it shows Australia case rate is already dropped to 0.1% since November of last year. On the right hand side, this is the table. It shows, right, what is the interest rates, right, that our big four banks that's offering or pass on to their customer. Currently, our rental yield is around 4 to 4.5%. So if the interest rate the interest rate for the mortgage is around, let's say, it's 2%, right? With the simple max that we can easily find, the mortgage repayments, right, will most likely less than a rental. It is wise, right, in the market right now, right, we have quite a number of owner-occupied buyers. Now, as for the overseas buyers, what is the incentive? Besides the safety, migrations, or the kids' education purpose, just like SMS Canada, one of the key motivations for the people buying into Western Australia right now is because of the 75% stamp duty rebate that is offering by our state government. When you buy a property that worth 700,000, let's say, here is the roughly calculations for the stamp duty in different states. For instance, in Perth, right, when you buy a property that worth 700,000, the stamp duty will be around 76,000, and Sydney will be 82,000, Melbourne slightly higher, 93,000, and Brisbane is 73,000, and Adelaide will be around 81,000. Currently, because our government is doing like stamp duty rebate, 75% of that, 75% to the off-the-plan apartments. Off-the-plans means the construction hasn't been started yet. And this offer will up to the October of 23rd of October this year. And the rebate is by property, so which means that you can get as many as you want. And with the impacts of these stamp duties, right, as you can see from the tables, right, 76,000 you pay into the stamp duty, the government is give you a 50,000 back as a rebate. By the way, there's one point I need to emphasize: the 75% stamp duty rebate actually capped at 50,000. That's why end up if you buy a same property 700,000 in Perth, you pay only 26,000 as your stamp duty, which is quite a big saving for most of the family.
So Lily, this is for the properties which is still not the projects have just been launched, right? So
yeah, just been launched.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as they haven't started the constructions, right, they are entitled for that. Yeah.
Okay, and then you get the rebate, I guess, at the end of it of the property, right? Yeah.
Yes, when you have after the settlements, right? That is the funny arrangement is you have to pay first and then rebate you at the end.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
but
okay.
it's still good. You get the money back.
It's a $50,000 saving, so why not? It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially to our colleagues or our client in Malaysia, right? 50,000 is quite a big number because you have to times 3 into Malaysia ringgit. So 150,000, I reckon, is a big number.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before I start to talk about the projects, right, I would like to introduce the suburbs and the location. And this is one of the prime area in Perth, right, which is right next to our CBD. And in the old days, this is an exclusive area for wealthy merchants or politicians. So now it's become part of the inner mixed zone and predominantly with the office block. But gradually, right, we start to see these office blocks, right, will be replaced by the residential buildings. And the suburb has a very high proportions with miners. I mean, because as you know, WA is quite a mining city, so we have a lot of mining company here with the headquarters and a lot of consultants firm like accountant, lawyer, and also medical specialists as compared to the Perth CBD itself. So now, years ago, West Perth was once being named as the best place on earth by this international analytics company called SAS. So the company used a spatial calculation method to crunch 5 million data points in order to compare, right, 148,000 cities within 193 countries. So based on all these public supply data, social media, review site that they get, like the reports from WTO, the trip advisors, they end up, they all agree West Perth has been rated extremely well and become the ultimate paradise or the best place on earth. To be honest, until today, we still don't know how they make it and why they get this result. But why not? It sounds good. This is
Of
what
course.
I cut from the newspaper. I still keep this because I buy my first apartments in these areas, right? And then because one of the reason because I found this article. It's funny
Awesome.
because I have no idea how they do it.
Awesome.
Okay, and first of all, this is our Perth City, and surrounded by this Swan River. And here is our Juwai IQI office, and then here is East Perth, and of course the Central Perth in the middle, and then the red color is West Perth, and it is actually next to the King's Park and Botanical Garden. So what is the special things about this? So this is one of the biggest city parks in the world, which is even bigger than New York Central Park, because New York Central Park is around 315 hectares, and this park is 400.6 hectares. And the London Hyde Park is only 121 hectares.
Wow.
Okay. This is where the project located from the area looks. And of course, I will explain a bit more about the locations, okay? Because as everyone knows, location, location, location. Wherever you
Yes.
buy, look at the locations first. Now, beside the locations, right, we do have to look at, back to the basic of economy, demand and supply. Okay, so West Perth itself doesn't going to have a lot of property supply. According to this ID, you hardly see from here. Oh, here you go. Here, the IT community demographic resources, it shows that there is a forecast, right? The city of Perth, the number of dwellings will be double in 2 or 4 ones. That's how you see it, from 14,000 to 28,000 by 2041, which is about 91% increase. The increase is mainly from the Central Perth and East Perth. As you can see, the Central Perth will increase from nearly 3,005 to 9,000, and then the East Perth will be increased from 6,005 to 12,000. So you just add up all this figure, that is. But as for West Perth, as you can see, right, because there are only three main area in the city of Perth. West Perth is only have 1,800 and is going up to 2,800. So in short, West Perth will remain as a low density area but city living for the next 20 years, which is I see the one of the key selling point.
Mhm.
Now, the size of West Perth is around 2.3 square kilometer, which is only 10% of the whole city of Perth. And this is another statistic that I will always use called Microbots. This is one of the research and analysis analysis platforms, right, that help people, right, by when they want to buy into a suburb, they are not quite sure. So this is a suburbs where they gather all the necessary information. For instance, the council data, the government statistic, the crime rate, the planning data, the school performance, all these, right, into a very easy format or score, so which help the users, right, to make the decision. Because as you know, different buyers, right, have different expectations, right, toward the suburb they pick or they want to live in. For example, myself, convenience is definitely a must for me because my schedule is very tight. So as you can see from the tables, right, the score for convenience is 10 out of 10. And to be honest, right, when you see the summaries, right, West Perth is almost full mark in most of the aspects. Okay, so the transportation in Perth, we don't have the trams like Melbourne, but we have a transportation called cat bus, which is free within the CBD. So the Greek cat is right in front of the doorstep, and the buildings behind, right, is where our display suite is. and then this is going to be demolished by times go. And this site already demolished, so the site will be here exactly in this location. Green Cat is only operate on weekend, no, weekday, and they are not operate on weekend. So which is perfect for those people, right? They work in CBD, but they enjoy a very quiet environment on weekends. And the Red Cat, right, is just like 4 minutes away, 4 minute walk at the corner here. So which is again, this service is every day. You use the service, but they are not right in front of your door. Beside that, we have Yellow Cat as well, 7 minute walk, and the train is only 12 minute walk away. Of course, it is easy access to both freeway, to the south of Perth and to the north of Perth. Okay, now educations. So WN #1 high school, Perth Modern, 13-minute walk away. And then there is another new high school called Bob Hawke. Bob Hawke is only opened in February of last year, and this is the first high-density public secondary college in WA. So currently they have only 250 students because they are pretty new right now. But by 2025, right, when the school with the full servicing capacities, right, the student will reach 2,000. And this school will open to the international students from next year onwards. And of course, 4 kilometers away, we have one of the WA most famous university, UWA. It is ranking as #6 in Australia-wide and 86 in global-wise. Surrounded these areas, right, there are many cafe streets are there are many cafe streets around West Perth area, included two of the top 10 cafe in Australia. One of them is the Golden Street Garage, and one of them is called Buckley's Cafe. And of course, the North Bridge, the Chinatown, is right here. So if you drive from the Eclat, right, to North Bridge, right, it's just like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of it, depends on the traffic. Of course, surprisingly, there are 5 hospitals close by as well. It's not a good sign, but why not?
Yeah.
It's safety. Okay, so what is up and coming? So 6-minute drive away, as you can see, our project is here, and here is the middle of CBD. We will have this university called Ed Commons. They are coming up, and they will be built in the middle of Perth, and it's a joint effort between the federal, state, and the local governments. The campus will be open in 2025 and accommodate 9,200 students and staff. So the number is projected to grow by 11,000 in 2034. Okay, now 7 minutes walk away, there will be a full first line. As you hear, you just walk straight here. So 7 minutes, okay? This will be a full line 3,500 Woolie, where we call a Woolworth supermarket, with just like Aldi, okay, with a small number of specialty store and also online delivery center as well. So they are currently they are in the progress to get the DA. So hopefully it will be complete by the times where our project is complete as well. So that is how the Woolie looks like. So as you can see, right, if you work from our projects right straight and turn 7 minutes away, then you see the shopping center. Now, what is the next? This is even big. This is called Subi is a master plan. That is too big. I need at least 1 hour to talk about what is the transformation. So what I do is I will just show you the whole plan, and then in case you will be interested to find out more, right, please let Yousaf know, and then we are more than happy to send you the video and also the reports. Okay. And now, finally, here is Eclat. I hope you think they are beautiful. So during the design phase, right, the developer as well as the architecture and also the designer, they have a vision, right? They want to create some things, right, that is timeless. Here's the concept, right, to have the glass curve balcony, which is customized, made in New Zealand and curved in Queensland, and before they're delivered back to Perth. I would reckon this will be one of the beautiful buildings in Perth, to be honest.
Very nice. Okay. Beautiful building. It's a beautiful building.
Yeah, thank you. So Eclat is a low-density owner-occupied apartments with a total of 38 units. So 13 of them is 2 bedrooms and 25 of them is 3 bedrooms. Unfortunately, there's no one better in these apartments. As you know, they try to avoid investments, investor. But to be honest, right, we have since our display suites, right, open to the public in February, we have around 17 units sold and one still under reservations because my client is in Broome. Uh, we actually have most of them owner occupied buyer. Okay, so the price per square meter for Eclat is around 7,000 up to 12,000, which is reasonable. To be honest, it's quite low with the quality that the developer put in. The current direct competitor will be Gallery House. If you compare quality and quantity, the Gallery House is the only project that can compete with this one. They are selling around 10,000 up to 16,000 per square meter. Okay. So there are 8 levels in total. Ground floor come with only 2 apartments in front, and then parking, lobby, residential lounge, kitchen, and a small garden. From level 1 to 4, we have 5 apartments per level, and most of the units come with at least 1 car bay or a tandem car bay. From level 5 to level 8, there will be 4 apartments per level, and there is no 2-bedders from the level 6 onwards, and all units come with a side-by-side car parks. So to keep the strata fee as low as possible, we don't actually have a high maintenance facilities like swimming pool or gyms. So we try to keep the strata fee as low as possible. And then there are 2 lifts for 38 units, so the ratio is about 20 to 1. As you know, some of the buildings, they actually have 200 units with only 3 lifts, so like 67 right to 1.
That's
so
great.
yeah, you basically save a lot of time. It save a lot of waiting time for the lift. Yeah. And the corner here is the rooftop gardens. That is all we have in order to keep the low strata fee. And developer is offering 4 color schemes, so you are free to mix and match. And remember, the furniture is not included, but all the fixtures that you see on the wall, of course, it's come as a package. And 4 colors. So Saint-Tropez is the most popular one. Then this is another light color. So basically 2 light color and 2 dark color. Okay. Balcony, and the size of the balcony is very generous because in Australia, right, balcony is free. So usually, right, they will build as small as possible. Sometimes I saw some of the balcony is like 6 square meter. I was thinking, so
Wow.
6 square meter, you can't even put a chair there. Okay, but because that is free. So so that's why I said this developer is very generous because they make the balcony like those units in front, right, where you see the curved balconies, right, is around 55 square meter. And the internal livings and the balcony is actually separate by these full height sliding staircase door with no steps in between. So you kind of like you extend your livings from internal to outside. Wow. And some of the unit actually have the storeroom, as you can see from here, have the storeroom built on the balcony. And there's no condenser on the balcony so that, the resident can enjoy and fully utilize the balcony space. Also, every unit, right, regardless it's 2 bedroom or 3 bedrooms, they all come with this compact and forever designed wall-mounted electric barbecue. Okay, so the appliances, the appliances that they will put into these buildings will be Miele from Germany. So regardless, it's cooktop, range hood, oven, dishwasher, they are all Miele. And the additional appliances they put in included the fridge, the wine fridge, integrated. This is an integrated fridge and freezer. And also there is a washing machine to be supplied, the combo washing machines. So what is this? I mean, you may say the kitchen is nothing special, but for me, right, this is quite different because in Perth, right, you hardly see apartments come with the shoes cabinet. For ladies, shoes cabinet. They saw me. I'm actually one of the owner. Okay. When I saw this shoes cabinets, right, I'm so excited. Okay, because this is the first time I see a project. So when you come in from your entrance, right, next to the entrance, there is a big cabinet for the shoes and you have a seat there as well. And laundry, instead of putting them in the cabinet, high up behind the cabinet, they put a proper room for the laundry. And as for the study desk, the same is a full functions study area. So where you have your drawer, your PowerPoint, and you even have the overhead instead just a study note. Okay, just right before I finish, okay, the team behind Eclat. So if you ever pay attention, right, most of the projects, right, usually they will go through a tender progress. So when we sell off the prem projects, right, we usually will promote the developer brands, and the building usually will go through the tender process as mentioned. So Eclat is slightly different because they start these projects, right, with the involvements of the builder and the brands from the initial stage, and even the interior designers are coming to design the internal area. Of course, most importantly, IQIWA is involved with this project. We are the exclusive agents from the land acquisitions, design planning, marketing. So IQIWA actually involved the whole progress and every step. So the architect Bolix Designs Group, they are quite well known because they built a lot of high end and also international buildings over more than 60 years. And in their websites, right, you can find, right, the long list of awards that they have won, and also they have a lot of, as I mentioned, a lot of significant projects, right, that they work for the government, sports and creation, resort, health, and hotel, including hotel as well. So they're not so much of residential. So it's really the builder behind is the ones, right, that can convince them to make a residential design for them. And then Eclat is quite unique, as you can see. They're different from a normal shoes box apartment. I say it's like square or rectangular. And all the picture here, right, is their previous projects. Now, the developer and also the builder, okay? The builder is Palazzo Home. It's a family-owned business from the father to son. They are all qualified builder or engineers with over 6 decades of combined experience. Palazzo Home has also won a lot of industrial awards. They build a lot of luxury and high-end property in Western Suburb. Western Suburb is a rich man's suburb, we always claim. And the clientele, right, included the Perth top Perth local, like top developer or top real estate agent, number one real estate agent for luxury products. And so what the message I'm trying to bring here is, if these people, right, who is already the best or the top in their industries, right, when they build their own house, guess what? Who they will engage? Of course, the best in the market as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is all the house that they have built that I actually cut from their website. And then they are also do some apartments, but usually in low density and in a very prime area in Perth. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. And
Very nice, Lily. Thank you so much. You know what? I was looking at it, and first of all, the building is really beautiful. And the best thing is that, IQIWA has been involved right from the land acquisition of designing and marketing on it. And, basically, it's your baby. Let's put it that way, of getting
yes,
it developed on that.
takes a while to pregnant and then to give birth now. But to be honest,
Absolutely.
right, yeah, it's a fantastic project because we officially launched the public in February, right? Now we are in May. So we
Yeah.
already sold 50% of them. And then I think we
Very nice.
need another few more units. Then we already meet the pre-sale and the developer will start the
We'll
constructions.
start the construction. And
Yep.
normally, how many is required in Canada? Is about requirement is about like 70 or 75% has to be pre-sold before the construction
Mm.
happens. What's the general rule in Australia or Western Australia?
It is quite variant because it depends which bank you go and also the experience of the developers. Like, because if you are very well known, some of my developers, right, 40% already they can go ahead.
Oh,
Some, right,
really?
they're very slightly higher because these buildings, right, is quite luxury. The cost is very, very high. Okay, it's not a normal. That's why they request a slightly higher as well. And also, right, because they have 3 projects ongoing right now, the developer don't want to come up with too much of their own cash. They
Yes,
prefer to use the bank money. Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So also for the foreign buyers now, I can see that like foreign buyers can just come and invest there? Is there any quota to this particular building, or is it open to the foreign buyers?
Okay, for these buildings, right, they're restricted to 25% to oversee, which means that we try not to sell more than 10. Yeah,
Okay.
it's to be honest, right, from we start these projects from February until now, we start to talk about it in November, but we didn't really launch it. But because also of the uncertainty
Yeah,
because of the COVID as well, the border not
that's right.
open. Yeah, so we want to do the local sales first. We want to bring in more owner occupied. I don't know how
That's
you
right.
feel, but I always think that owner occupied buyers, right? They are more like care about the building. So we
Yes, they
want
do.
like at least right 70% or at least 60 or 70% of them is owner occupied. They were well taking care of the building. So then we will start to open into the investor markets. Yeah.
So the best thing is that I'm looking at the real estate market is going up everywhere. I was looking at your chart on the pandemic, and then after
Yeah.
2 or 3 months, 3 months, and same thing we have noticed here in Canada as well. 2 months
Yeah.
when last in the pandemic we were down. After since then the market has been going up. So which basically tells like people want to hold on to the assets, they want to invest into real estate, and
Yeah.
they want to keep these properties going on that. Now, of course, for
Yeah.
the people who are listening, I would like to them to know is that you know, since we have our on-ground team of IQI WA to manage the property or to looking after it, that is also something which can be taken care by our local team, which is available. So it's just not like we're not, again, we are a solution provider, as I always say in my. So we are
Yeah.
not here just to sell, but we are
Mm.
looking at the opportunity like how we can give you a full end-to-end solution. So even as we are doing it from a developer perspective of doing a land acquisition and selling out the project at the same time, when you come to our teams, IQIW or Canada, we are here to even help you throughout the process of securing the unit and also managing it for them at the same time.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Because when I start my business, right, I never keen with property management because that is a lot of headaches. Because you don't actually make money from there, but that is a lot of effort because the tenants may call you in the midnight or weekend, when they forgot about their key, when they lock out, or when they accidentally, or they even when they fight with their boyfriend, they also call you, you have to come out and solve the problem. I'm not keen with that, but because the service we keen to provide to our global residents, right? That's why we have to taking care that part. That's why we have set up the property management
Awesome.
department. Yeah. So once we sell, right, we won't just walk away because once we sell, we will just transfer to another department and taking care of the property. Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, right? Providing a customer service and providing an end-to-end solution on that. So anything else you want to add, Lily? I mean, it's a very interesting project, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of interest in the project as well. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, basically, as I mentioned, so I'm the one of the owner myself because I buy into this project in terms of the locations, and I compare a lot of things like the prices, the strata. It's for overseas investors, right? I will definitely say, right, because when you have let's say, right, if you, I'm not quite sure in Canada what is your fixed interest rate is. In here, right, we are looking around 0.3%, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's so dangerous to put cash in the bank right now.
that's
So
true.
we
That's
have,
true.
yeah, we have to do something with the money. Okay. So if that is the case, right, regardless is in Canada or here, right, property is always one of the safe one. Of course, you can buy share, of course, but that is a very minimal. You can control how it's up and down. But at least for property, you can control the renter, how you want to charge. That's how I see. Okay. And then when there is an offer of the incentive for 75% rebate, that is quite a huge saving. As I show you, 50,000. That is a good money because for even for us, right, local people, 50,000, right, we can buy another like apartment.
Of
That
course,
is a
of course.
deposit for 10%. Yeah, so that's how I say is if you have the plan to do so, why not? When you have winter in Canada, maybe you can come over to
Of
Australia for
course.
holiday to have the summer. When we have winter, you can go back to Canada. Have it depends which you prefer. Yeah, that is always
No,
good to have an option in life.
absolutely. And for the viewers, I have worked with Lily myself. We were at the show last year in Tokyo, and I can tell
Yeah,
you, a very strong team. She does her analysis very well. When she's talking about she does project analysis, trust me, she does it. She will compare 4 different projects and tell you why to invest into a project. And that's the beauty of Juwai IQ, and that's where all the experience comes along on that. With this note, Lily, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. We look forward for more sessions with you. Till that time, take care of yourself. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.